Hello, everyone, and welcome to General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, February 24th, indicate that Ross Cullum will make more waves while Nathan West delivers some unexpected news. Sonny Corinthos will also raise concerns during a conversation with Rick Lansing. So let's talk about what's coming up in Port Charles. For starters, Jordan Ashford will grill ADA Justine Turner about Sonny and whether Justine might actually be falling for him. From Jordan's perspective, Justine should keep a professional line since this could affect her willingness to prosecute Sonny if evidence ever arises. Jordan won't think a personal relationship is a good idea and will urge Justine to be careful since Sonny could turn on her if she crosses him. Sonny will also set off alarm bells for Rick when he spills about his growing bond with Justine. Rick may even hear about Sonny and Justine's kiss, but he'll deliver a warning about her potential manipulation tactics. Although Sonny will think he's running the show in this whole situation, Justine will think the same thing. At GH, Lucas Jones will speak with Britt Westbourne privately and confess what Marco Rios divulged. Britt will flip out when she realizes Lucas knows about Jen Sidwell's project and the fact that she's being forced to cooperate in exchange for her medication. Although Britt will think Lucas needs to move out of Windermere ASAP and steer clear of Sidwell, he'll refuse. Lucas will insist they have to free Britt too and will refuse to leave until he can make that happen. At some point, Lucas will become privy to some crucial info that might be related to the project itself, Sidwell's secret partner, or even Jocelyn Jacks if Lucas finds out she's part of the WSB. Speaking of Jocelyn, it looks like Jason Morgan will have more reasons to worry about her soon enough. Jason will head to Jack Brennan's office and perhaps learn that Brennan's doing his best to protect Jocelyn from Cullum. That may leave Jason on edge since Brennan seems to think Cullum could pose a threat and drag Jocelyn into trouble. Of course, Brennan isn't aware of Jocelyn's night at Windermere with Cullum, so she's been taking risks that he doesn't even know about yet. Jason may also fret over Carly Spencer since Cullum stopped by her place and made some rather ominous comments recently. Regardless, Cullum will put Jason through an interrogation on Tuesday's GH episode, so Jason will have a chance to size Cullum up for himself. At Windermere, Sidwell will put Marco through a grilling session of his own and wonder whether Pascal was right about Lucas' eavesdropping discovery. Marco might assure Sidwell that Lucas is still in the dark or perhaps act like Lucas is willing to stay silent about what he's learned. Either way, Lucas will have an uncomfortable discussion waiting for him when he returns to Sidwell and Marco a little later. At Brown Dog Bar, Nathan will surprise Lulu Spencer by admitting Maxie Jones chose Damian Spinelli. Nathan might confess that he's relieved in some ways and wonder if this means Lulu's willing to pursue a romance with him after all. Lulu's still going to have some reservations, but maybe Nathan can convince her to take a leap, even if they keep things quiet at first. Next, Brooklyn Quartermain will demand answers from Harrison Chase, who'll likely admit he checked the keys on Michael Corinthos' keychain by going to Drew Kane's door. Chase will assure Brooklyn that he didn't plant proof against Michael. This has always been about making sure justice gets served in Chase's eyes, but Brooklyn will warn that he's risking way too much. Chase could lose his job and botch their adoption chances if he's not careful, so Brooklyn will push him to put their family first. General Hospital spoilers say Chase will have to decide what's most important, but more drama is ahead no matter what. The city of Port Charles never sleeps, and this week, the tension is reaching a fever pitch. Secrets, lies, and unexpected confessions are about to collide, setting the stage for heartbreak, betrayal, and maybe even a hint of hope. Let's take a closer look at what's coming up on Tuesday, February 24th, as lives intertwine and alliances shift in ways no one could anticipate. It all starts with Jordan Ashford, whose instincts are sharper than ever. She's watching ADA Justine Turner closely, concerned that the line between professional duty and personal desire might be blurring. Jordan confronts Justine directly, her voice steady but carrying an unmistakable urgency. She warns that getting too close to Sonny Corinthos could jeopardize her ability to prosecute him should the evidence ever surface. From Jordan's perspective, personal feelings are dangerous territory, especially with someone like Sonny. She knows all too well how quickly loyalties can shift, and she urges Justine to tread carefully. Sonny, charismatic and unpredictable, has the power to turn from ally to adversary in a heartbeat, and Jordan doesn't want Justine to be caught off guard. The tension is palpable as Jordan lays it all out, her concern barely masked by her commanding presence. Meanwhile, Sonny himself is stirring the pot. In a conversation with Rick Lansing, Sonny can't resist revealing the deepening bond he shares with Justine. The news sets off immediate alarm bells for Rick, who's already wary of Sonny's magnetic charm and the potential for manipulation. And when Sonny casually drops details about their recent kiss, Rick's instincts kick into overdrive. He warns Sonny that Justine is far from naive. She's just as capable of playing the game as he is. It's a dangerous dance, and both are convinced they're leading, leaving a tense standoff simmering just beneath the surface. Across town at General Hospital, a quiet storm is brewing between Lucas Jones and Britt Westbourne. Behind closed doors, Lucas confesses everything he's learned from Marco Rios, and Britt's reaction is explosive. The revelation that Lucas knows about Jen Sidwell's project and her coerced involvement in exchange for her medication throws Britt into a whirlwind of fear and anger. She wants Lucas out of Windermere immediately, convinced that his presence only endangers them both. But Lucas is unyielding. He insists that leaving is not an option, that they can't abandon each other while Britt is trapped in Sidwell's manipulative scheme. His resolve is steady, his determination clear. He will stay until Britt is free. But freedom doesn't come without consequences. Lucas is about to stumble onto information that could shift everything. Details about Sidwell's secret partner, the mysterious project, or even Jocelyn Jack's involvement with the WSB. And speaking of Jocelyn, Jason Morgan can't shake the feeling that danger is closing in. At Jack Brennan's office, he learns of Brennan's efforts to protect Jocelyn from the looming threat of Ross Cullum. But the truth is far more complicated. Brennan doesn't know about the risks Jocelyn has already taken at Windermere, and Jason is left wrestling with worry for both her and Carly Spencer after Cullum's recent ominous visit. Tuesday's episode promises a gripping face-off as Jason comes face-to-face with Cullum himself. The interrogation is tense, measured, a battle of wills, and it gives Jason a first-hand look at the threat he's been sensing. Every glance, every word carries weight, because in Port Charles, no encounter is ever just casual, and every conversation can tip the scales in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, back at Windermere, Sidwell turns the tables on Marco, questioning him about Lucas and whether his suspicions are justified. Marco tries to maintain his composure, assuring Sidwell that Lucas hasn't uncovered the full truth, or at least that's the story he's sticking to. But the tension lingers, a shadow over every interaction, and when Lucas returns later, he's stepping into an uncomfortable, potentially dangerous conversation that could change everything. Even amidst the chaos, there are sparks of hope and personal revelation. At Brown Dog Bar, Nathan West surprises Lulu Spencer with unexpected news. Maxie Jones has chosen Damian Spinelli. Nathan's confession carries relief, but also a cautious optimism. Could this be the opening he's been waiting for to explore a romance with Lulu? She's hesitant, unsure if now is the right time. But Nathan's sincerity and quiet determination might just persuade her to take a leap of faith, even if their connection has to remain hidden at first. Romance and loyalty aren't the only things being tested. Brooke Lynn Quartermain confronts Harrison Chase about his recent actions, particularly his decision to check the keys on Michael Corinthos' keychain at Drew Kane's door. Chase insists he's only trying to ensure justice, that he never intended to plant evidence against Michael. But Brooke Lynn isn't convinced. She warns him that his methods could cost him his career or derail their adoption plans, and presses him to consider the bigger picture, family above all else. Chase is caught in a crossroads of duty versus love, ethics versus ambition, and the tension leaves every decision feeling weighty, precarious, and irreversible. Across Port Charles, every corner hides secrets, every conversation carries hidden agendas, and every character is walking a tightrope between danger and desire. Sonny and Justine's simmering connection, Lucas and Britt's desperate fight for freedom, Jason's protective instincts over Jocelyn, Nathan's tentative hope with Lulu, and Chase's moral dilemma. All of it is intertwining into a tapestry of suspense, heartbreak, and fleeting joy. As the camera pans across the city skyline, one thing becomes abundantly clear. In Port Charles, Nothing is ever simple. Every choice ripples through the lives of those caught in its wake. Every trust betrayed could spark a fire that spreads beyond control. And in the heart of it all, the question lingers: who will rise, who will fall, and who will survive the storm that's coming? This week's episode is more than drama. It's a collision of hearts, minds, and secrets. And as the story unfolds, one truth stands above all. In Port Charles, the only certainty is that nothing stays hidden for long. Back at Windermere, the tension is almost unbearable. Sidwell leans closer to Marco, eyes sharp as knives, probing for the truth about Lucas' recent discoveries. Every word Marco utters feels measured, each pause loaded with risk. Sidwell isn't just questioning him. He's testing the boundaries of loyalty, gauging whether Marco is bluffing or hiding something critical. Marco reassures him, but the uncertainty hangs heavy in the air, a silent countdown to an inevitable confrontation. When Lucas returns later, the atmosphere shifts palpably. He steps into the room with a quiet confidence, but the undercurrent of fear is unmistakable. Every glance between Lucas, Sidwell, and Marco crackles with tension, a delicate dance of deception and truth. Lucas knows he's walking a dangerous line. One misstep could unravel Britt's safety, his own freedom, and everything Sidwell has so carefully constructed. And yet, he refuses to back down. His resolve is unwavering. Britt will be freed, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, across town at the Brown Dog Bar, the scene takes on a softer, warmer glow. Nathan West and Lulu Spencer sit across from each other, their conversation intimate, quiet, but charged with unspoken emotions. Nathan's revelation that Maxie has chosen Spinelli shifts something between them, a mixture of relief and the faint stirrings of hope. Lulu hesitates, her heart conflicted, wary of leaping into something new after so many betrayals and heartbreaks. Yet Nathan's sincerity is palpable, his steady presence a beacon in the chaos surrounding them. Slowly, cautiously, the tension between them gives way to possibility, a tentative connection that promises warmth, trust, and maybe even love, if they dare to take the first step. But hope in Port Charles is always shadowed by danger. At Jason Morgan's side, worry simmers. His mind races as he pieces together what he knows, and what he doesn't, about Ross Cullum. The interrogation looms like a storm cloud, dark and threatening. Jason's eyes, normally calm and calculated, flicker with tension as he prepares to face Cullum directly. Every interaction with Cullum is a high-stakes game of mental chess, each question and answer a potential trap. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Jocelyn, Carly, and perhaps countless others are caught in the fallout of a man whose unpredictability is matched only by his cunning. Back at General Hospital, the drama takes a more personal, intimate turn. Brooklyn Quartermain confronts Harrison Chase in a moment that's both tender and tense. Her words are firm, laced with concern, pleading with him to think not just of the law, but of the lives intertwined with his actions. Chase's gaze meets hers, conflicted. He wants justice, yes, but at what cost? The camera lingers on this moment, highlighting the moral tightrope he's walking. Every choice could unravel their family dreams. Every act of loyalty to the law could become a betrayal of love. Meanwhile, Sonny and Justine's story reaches another turning point. Their connection, electric and dangerous, simmers beneath the surface of professional facades and personal ambition. Each glance, each touch, carries weight. They are both convinced they are in control, but in a city like Port Charles, control is always an illusion. Sonny's charm is magnetic, his intentions opaque, and Justine's resolve is tested like never before. When Rick Lansing enters the picture, warning Sonny about potential manipulation, the tension escalates. Secrets and desires collide, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering which of them will outmaneuver the other, or if they'll both fall into a trap neither sees coming. And just when it feels like the storm has reached its peak, Lucas and Britt take center stage once again. Britt, desperate, vulnerable, but fiercely protective of her secrets, finds herself leaning on Lucas in ways she never expected. The raw emotion of their bond is palpable. Fear, hope, and determination intertwine. Lucas' refusal to leave without freeing Britt sets the stage for a tense standoff with Sidwell, one that promises revelations, risks, and perhaps a breakthrough that could finally shift the power dynamic in their favor. As the episode hurtles toward its climax, every thread begins to weave together. Nathan and Lulu's tentative romance, Jason's confrontation with Cullum, Sonny and Justine's dangerous dance, and Lucas and Britt's fight for freedom all converge, creating a web of suspense that's as emotionally gripping as it is unpredictable. Moments of tenderness are shaded with tension. Sparks of hope are tinged with fear. Every character is tested, every choice scrutinized, and every heartbeat seems amplified against the backdrop of Port Charles's ever-present uncertainty. The city holds its breath as secrets inch closer to exposure, alliances wobble under pressure, and the line between friend and foe blurs. In Port Charles, nothing is ever simple, and the ripple effects of each decision can be catastrophic. But amidst the danger, there is also courage, resilience, and the fragile possibility of redemption. Tuesday's episode isn't just about drama. It's about the human heart in conflict, the push and pull between desire and duty, love and loyalty, risk and reward. And as the camera pans over the city skyline one last time, the message is clear. In a place like Port Charles, nothing stays buried forever, and every storm, no matter how dark, leaves the potential for light. As the day unfolds, Ross Cullum continues to loom over Port Charles like a shadow no one can ignore. His presence is unsettling, calculated, and dangerous, a mix of charm and menace that keeps everyone guessing his next move. Jason knows this all too well, and his encounter with Cullum is more than just a confrontation. It's a silent battle of wills. Every glance, every word, every pause between them is weighted, a test of nerve and strategy. Jason studies Cullum carefully, weighing the man's motives, trying to anticipate his next move, and preparing for the moment when things could turn violent or catastrophic. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer finds herself caught in the aftermath of Cullum's ominous visit. His cryptic words linger in her mind like a warning she can't ignore. She feels a chill, a sense of unease that refuses to fade. Every sound in her home seems sharper, every shadow more threatening, as if Cullum's presence has seeped into her very walls. Carly's instincts scream that danger is closer than anyone realizes. And in Port Charles, instincts are often all you have to protect yourself. Back at Windmere, the battle of strategy continues. Sidwell's eyes flick to Marco with sharp suspicion, and the silence between them is thick with unspoken threats. Lucas, however, is determined to stand his ground. His loyalty to Britt is unwavering, and his refusal to leave is a quiet but defiant act of rebellion. Britt's relief is palpable, but fear lingers in her gaze. Fear of Sidwell, fear of exposure, and fear of the unknown consequences of the secrets they're guarding. It's a tense equilibrium, fragile and volatile, ready to tip at the slightest misstep. Across town at General Hospital, Brooklyn presses Chase for clarity. Her voice is firm, but carries a motherly undertone, reminding him that justice cannot exist in a vacuum. Chase listens, torn between the pursuit of truth and the bonds of love and family that he risks every time he bends the rules. It's a moral crucible, a test of character, and the weight of his choices presses down like a storm cloud over his shoulders. Every word he speaks is measured, every decision fraught with risk, because in Port Charles, the smallest act can have the biggest repercussions. Amidst this tension, there are moments of warmth that cut through the storm. At the Brown Dog Bar, Nathan and Lulu's conversation unfolds like a quiet oasis. Nathan's honesty about Maxie's choice sparks a cautious hope in Lulu. There's a tension between longing and fear, a hesitation to embrace happiness fully in a city where hearts are so easily broken. Nathan senses her doubt, gently encouraging her to trust, to take the leap, even if it means keeping their growing connection hidden for now. It's a tender moment, a rare slice of intimacy amidst chaos, reminding viewers that even in the darkest times, the heart can find its way. And then there's Sonny and Justine, locked in a subtle but electrifying dance of power and desire. Each interaction is charged, each glance heavy with unspoken meaning. Rick Lansing's warning echoes like a distant thunderclap, a reminder that in this city, no connection is without consequence. Sonny believes he is steering the ship, just as Justine believes she is in control. Neither realizes that the storm they are creating together may be bigger than either of them can handle. Their chemistry is undeniable, but so is the danger, and the tension is almost unbearable to watch. Meanwhile, Lucas uncovers a thread of information that could shift everything. Whether it's the secret partner in Sidwell's project, the delicate situation surrounding Jocelyn Jacks, or another hidden piece of the puzzle, Lucas' discovery is a ticking time bomb. It sets the stage for confrontations, revelations, and perhaps even betrayals that could send shockwaves through everyone involved. The stakes are high, and every heartbeat carries weight, every whisper of information a potential catalyst for chaos. As the episode builds toward its climax, Port Charles feels like a city on the brink. Every character's path is,